This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid here, and today I want to take a look at some customs that I got from the one, the only, the great, the legendary Commander Cook. So, Commander Cook is of course a great friend of mine and the channel. I have shown off several things I've gotten from him before. This should be nothing new, but you know me, whenever I get anything that's custom, I like to show it off and just show you guys, you know, the potential that, you know, you could add to your shelf if you talk to people that do customs, DM Commander Cook maybe, like, you know, you never know what you might be able to add to the collection. So I like to get things I think that Hasbro's not going to do, and the Battle Droids here may have been a gamble, but I've been waiting for years and years and years for Battle Droid commanders, so I had to make me a Geonosis and a regular Tan commander, and then the 501st Heavy Phase 2 from Star Wars Battlefront 2. Whenever I'm playing Battlefront 2 with the boys, and it's often, I am always spinning up my rotary cannon as the 501st Phase 2 Heavy. It is my go-to skin. If I had a channel clone, it would be the 501st Phase 2 Heavy. Like, I love this. I play as this a lot, and actually has some other customs that I'll show off later. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start by showing you the B1s, because while his work here is impressive, let's be fair, the 501st Heavy is going to be like the centerpiece item here. So as far as these go, these actually aren't that different from the standard release. I basically just said, hey, Commander Cook, can you draw a perfect circle? Great. You want to do it on my battle droids? And that's how it went. So as far as accessories, nothing changed. They still just have their blasters as they came from Hasbro during their separate releases in the red box days. And he went and he just added some yellows. So let's go ahead and bring in the tan one. As you see, that yellow is very nice and contrasty in the center of the chest, and then on the head it goes around the panel line and into all the crevices there, and then he accurately painted the ears in the back. And other than that, this is just a normal battle droid. Now, has the same weathering that all the other battle droids that we have so far has. Same can be said for the Geonosis one, and the same story here. A nice yellow circle on the chest. Very nice shade, I'll say. It very much represents Commander Yellow to me. And then same on the head. It follows that molded in panel line. And around back, the ears are painted as well. So I really love this. It just gives you just a little smidge of variety for the shelf. I have a decent amount of battle droids now. I've been trying to army build them. I want to have like a Detolf cube filled with battle droids. I'm working on getting the living room a little more displayable so that I can show you guys a collection tour in the next couple months. And like, I have a whole Detolf of clone troopers, and I have like maybe like 10 battle droids, or I had before I started this. So I very much would like to have at least one cube and one Detolf mostly full of battle droids, maybe a couple leaders in front. So these are just going to give me a nice little splash of variety, which is always nice to see on the shelf. And so with that, I'm going to set these aside. Actually, first, as we all know, the battle droids are a little bit finicky. But first, I do just want to show off. I'm just going to show them with the standard releases next to them. So as you see, the tan literally has just had the yellow added. And you will find the same to be said for the Geonosis one. Thank you, Ood. Commentary from Ood, everyone. And as you see, they are the same figures with the same scuff marks in the same places, just with the yellow added for the commanders. But like I said, it adds just a nice little bit of variety on the shelf, and I really love to see it. Now, of course, when we talk about the Heavy in Battlefront 2, you know, it's cool. They come with rifles and stuff, and this is using a AliExpress clone body, so it did come with the long rifle and the short rifle, which is fine. But when it comes to the Heavy, we don't care about the rifles. We want the Z6 rotary cannon. This is a 3D printed Etsy pickup, and boy, did Commander Cook do good. This is painted so incredibly well. It is in a very nice gunmetal color with little bits of copper punched in between the barrels and up there. Tiny little bit of scuffing from where I've put it in and out of his hands a couple of times. That's just the name of the game with painted blasters. But, oh lordy, this looks so good. This is like insane, both the quality of the print and then the quality of the paint. This looks like a real gun, just smaller, and it is so incredibly cool. It is just, I love this, and when I get him posed up with it in a little bit, I think you will too. It is quite the shelf piece. We're going to set that aside and take a look at the Phase 2 501st Heavy. Now, this, like I said, is the knockoff AliExpress clone body. It does feature a 3D printed head and then flex resin printed for the straps bag going on, and then a 3D printed backpack. This is all hand painted by well, I guess there's spray going on with Commander Cook, but like the I said hand painted. I'm looking at the Republic decal on the back. That looks so good. But looking at this clone from head to toe, he looks oh so good. As reference, usually when I'm talking about 501st stuff with Commander Cook, because he's done a couple blue things for me at this point, I usually say just make it roughly match like the ARC Trooper Jesse, the ARC Trooper Echo, you know, because that's kind of like a pretty standard blue. And whatever his mix is, it is just a perfect hit. I really love it. He also does a really great job with the weathering. It's subtle, but it's not too little, it's not too much. I adore everything about how these always turn out. The weathering that he does is just superb. Looking in under that visor, you have a nice glossy black visor right to the helmet, you know, with a like eyebrow visor up above. Lots of little scuffs, lots of little black marks. Just looks so good. You have the 2 blue stripes going across the top of the helmet, and just all these blue punch-ins are so cool. He basically has the 501st chest markings, just a little bit more going on up top, but it kind of has the A underneath the frame, underneath that like belt strap shoulder pad system there. Little silver punch-ins from the buttons and the buckles and the little canisters. Like, this looks so good. It is, of course, glued to the belt there, and then I believe up at the shoulder, yeah, at the back there, behind the backpack. And it just looks oh so good. So many little scuffs all over, and just it is absolutely insane. I'm gonna run through the articulation on him, not that you don't know what's going on with this body, but because I just want to show that like it can handle being articulated. I wouldn't play with it like a figure, like an action figure, but like you can put him in some poses. Also, something that Commander Cook likes to do is he separates the shoulder pads from the 2020 body and then reconnects them with some glued on elastics under there. So these will actually get out of the way but snap back down like whenever you're done, like, you know, with the pose. That is an awesome little life hack that he figured out. So cool. So it features the double ball neck, but the inside of the head basically has like a glob of like a blue tack just to hold it in. So it's a little finicky, but you just turn it, you know, how you will, and sometimes you'll accidentally just pop the entire thing up. That's all right. You just mash it back into the putty and everything's all right. The arms come up out to a T-pose. He has a good butterfly joint, 360s at the shoulder, no bicep swivel, 2020 body, remember. Single jointed elbows, they can go 290 and swivel. He separates the elbow pads from the bicep. That's really cool. And then 360 on the wrist with the left hinging in and out, the right hinging up and down. There's a mid-torso ball joint that's not really affected by the straps too much, but like it, you know, you can only go so far. Get them side to side, a little bit of twist. The legs can kick out that far and go really forward. Touch back, upper thigh, swivel in there. Single jointed knees can go to 90, swivel at the knee, of course. The feet can point straight down, pretty far forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker. So, as said, and this is the truth for any custom painted figure, you do have to be a touch delicate with it. You don't want to try and really force anything. This is definitely more a work of art than a action figure anymore, but you don't have to be afraid of putting him in a cool pose before you stick him on the shelf. Now, I want to show off a couple of customs. These customs have a little history. These were made by Roar Customs, bought by my friend 212 Hunter, and then resold to me when he decided that he wanted to focus pretty much on just having orange clones in his 1/12 scale. So these are Roar Customs 501st Special, or 501st Officer, and 501st Specialist. So these are also using the 2020 body, but when you actually put them together, his blue is really close to the ARC Trooper's blue, meaning that Cook's blue is really close to Roar's blue. So, like, the blue on these just hits. Like, they look like they belong together. I actually had these two first, which is wild because, like, as I said, I always play as the heavy. And so, like, I had them for a bit. I was really liking them, but I was like, man, my guy needs to be in the middle. And speaking of my guy in the middle, let's hit a pose. Oh, man. How's that for a group of Giga Chads, right? For real. This is insane. I have loved playing Battlefront 2 for years. I'm especially grateful to have my friend group that I play with pretty regularly now. And this is a must-have for my display. I can't get over it. 501st is the best Legion, always has been. And now I got all their special classes, and I've got all the 501st Appos, which are just troopers, and I've just got so many cool customs that fit within this whole Legion, and I love this. So thank you, Commander Cook. This is insanely well done. We're going to bring those guys off to the side here and just bring in the two battle droid commanders. These are all insanely well done pieces of art that I'm incredibly grateful to be able to put on my shelf. Thank you again, Commander Cook. Everyone, go check out Commander Cook. He's linked in the description down below. Of course, you should probably already know him if you've been around for a while, and honestly, you probably know him more than me because, like, his content is insane. But go check him out. He does some really cool stuff, and he's just a really cool guy. So if you don't know of him, if you're not following or subscribing him, go do that. Thanks again. I will catch you all next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.